On this episode of the Bozo Podcast, the boys talk about the best parts of Thanksgiving. Dan's becoming a wilderness expert, and Nathan goes all spiritual? Welcome to the Bozo Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Thanksgiving, and welcome to the Bozo Show.
Welcome to the Bozo Show podcast,
Nathan's in his...
where we celebrate Thanksgiving like God-fearing Americans who know how to light a candle.
You fucking missed.
I missed. Okay, you talk.
Nathan's in his roleplay arc. He's a pilgrim farmer. We're gonna have the smoke detectors off.
No, it's okay. I got this.
I'm in my beautiful bonnet because I'm a beautiful pilgrim woman
I got the candle lit.
who is very modest and definitely only love my husband and only fornicate with my husband as well.
And I love my wife and my 3 daughters and my daughters, and I love all of them.
He is a sus individual, but there's no rules back in the day because it's the beginning of America and it's a new dawn in a new nation.
God bless.
God bless. Are we gonna have turkey this year? You're gonna have turkey this year.
I'm having turkey, but you know what I'm going to eat? Just ham.
You're a ham guy.
Just ham.
So
I only get ham twice a year.
Ham's like a Christmas thing, though.
Yeah, but they also make it at Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving's
sometimes.
for the turkey.
Well, it's also for my goddamn ham.
No, I don't agree with you.
Or my family is we make ham and I eat that shit.
I'm more of a pumpkin pie guy, more of a cranberry sauce guy. You know,
I
mashed
warmed up to
potatoes,
pumpkin
stuffing.
pie. At first, I didn't eat pumpkin pie,
That's crazy.
but then I realized that shit ain't bad.
I actually was anti-pie guy too until I became a teenager, and then I had pumpkin pie doused in whipped cream.
Yep.
My brother went cheers, and then I was like, "This is the best. This is the best thing ever."
Other pies, you need to warm me up still, but pumpkin pie for sure.
I don't really fuck with an apple pie. I don't really fuck with a cherry pie. Too sweet, you know. Pumpkin pie though. Something about it just hits.
No, it's good. It's a cold. It's best served cold. It's like a little.
It is.
I love that.
It's a beautiful little dessert.
It's almost like, call me crazy. It's a little bit like a little ice cream. You literally put whipped cream on it. I mean, goddamn.
Yeah, literally. It's like add your toppings, whatever, and then it's smoothed down all the way. It is really filling though.
Oh, it is.
Because I remember in Gerald in the old house, I bought an entire pumpkin pie, and I would eat like, it's like the big Costco one, right? And I would try to eat like a quarter of it at a time, just because I was like, oh, I love pumpkin pie. It's that time of the year. I bought a pumpkin pie for myself. Got to eat it all, and it's just like,
Yeah.
after it, more than like an eighth of the pie, of especially those big ass Costco ones.
Oh, for
and
sure.
You're like, oh my fucking
The Costco
God.
ones are literally massive. Like
I
those
know.
are minimum 10
Those are
people.
Those are peak. Those are peak pumpkin pies.
Was that the same pumpkin pie that ended up at our house afterwards?
That was part 2, I think.
Oh, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, or no, the one I'm talking about where I was eating a lot was when I was living in your loft, which is a thing that happened. If you don't know, Dan Chronolore, my apartment ceiling started leaking, so we moved into their house in Gerald.
Yep.
I think the second one that ended up in your house was last year's Thanksgiving, where I think I just like left it at your house and forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because we all got drunk or something.
And it stayed there for like a month until Christmas.
And then Seb ended up eating it. No, I think Seb ate a spoiled apple pie or something. I don't know.
No, Seb ate that. Seb ate the
Disgusting,
Thanksgiving
filthy
pie.
trash can of a human.
He ate the Thanksgiving pie on Christmas in the dark. Didn't even realize that it was. I think it was molding. Like it was visibly bad. And then he looked like we were like, Seb, what? What are you eating? He's like, the pie.
Dude, that guy will eat anything because he's literally like a starving man.
Yeah, he turned the lights and he was like, "Ooh." I think he stopped eating. But he was like, "It tasted fine to me."
The body's resilient, man. He probably just fucking tanked it.
Also, a momentary fit check. You think that my costume ends here?
Oh, he's got like really skimpy
Ooh, what's these?
kneecaps.
What? Can you hear that?
Ooh.
Ooh, can you hear one more?
Little. Ooh.
My britches are shivering.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I'm a little sweaty over here. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. This thing is like, I see why they wore it. It's hot.
Yeah.
This thing in the winter probably kept
It traps the
women
heat
so
up there.
warm. Yeah, because it's like cotton, and then like we were doing like little Thanksgiving games, and you know we do other recordings alongside.
This video should be the first thing that's coming out for Thanksgiving week, but we've I think we did a good job theming it up for Thanksgiving.
It's definitely silly and shithousery, which is just what we're all about here on the Bozo Show as a couple of bozos. But I was in this and a hoodie with the bonnet on, and I was sweating.
Oh yeah.
So I had to take the hoodie off because now I was all hot coming up here.
I might take it off for a second. I'm gonna put it back on. Don't laugh at me. This is like digging into my forehead really bad.
Why is it?
It makes
like
a line, like a hard line.
Is it that thin, the hat, or like the circle?
It's look how it's
The
attached.
circumference.
Look how it's
the
attached.
stitching stabbing
They
you?
essentially had like a circle that they cut out to make the brim so it doesn't actually like fold. And so the cut of the circle
It's just stabbing your
is
forehead.
just stabbing my forehead because it literally comes out.
Hey, it's the downside of being a pilgrim.
I know. I mean, it's God's mark. It's how they know I've been a good pilgrim.
Dude.
Do we know anything about the pilgrims?
I mean, they came over on the Mayflower.
The Mayflower and the others, but Mayflower was the first one and the coolest one.
They broke bread.
They
with
landed
the
in
Native
Rhode
Americans.
Island? Rhode Island?
No, Plymouth, Massachusetts or Virginia or something. I just know it's named Plymouth. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere on the northern East Coast.
They landed somewhere around there, around the
That might be wrong. I think it was Plymouth, but they were getting to the winter times, aka November, where we are now, and they started getting a little hungry. So they ended up bartering with the Native Americans, who cooked them up allegedly all the nice things that we have in a Thanksgiving feast, like turkey and corn and all that sort of stuff.
And then they murdered them all.
Yeah, and then we gave them chickenpox blankets.
Measles. Yeah.
With blankets ridden with diseases.
And we
sent them on the Trail of Tears to Oklahoma.
Yep.
Most of them died. Just us being Americans. Just American things.
Classic America.
Classic American things.
And we celebrated every...
If you're not from America and you didn't learn this in a history textbook and don't know what we're talking about, it's a real thing. We basically, to get Native Americans off of like prime land on the East Coast, the government forced them, I think it was Andrew Jackson, forced them to literally take a trek across, like basically to Oklahoma from like the Carolinas, New York area. And then because it was like winter, it was cold, they would give them blankets to keep them warm, being like, hi, here you go. But since we're like, European white idiots,
our diseases are entirely separate. So like they had the worst of it too. Like we brought diseases that their bodies have just never experienced.
Europeans or like the now colonist Americans or now actual Americans, because we had a president at that point, we're used to stuff like measles and chickenpox and smallpox and smallpox. Smallpox blankets. We survive that shit somehow. But the Native Americans, who have never experienced any of these diseases, have no immune system build up to it. Yep. So smallpox just wiped out all of them. As we're forcing them to literally walk their asses to Oklahoma to like, because that's the land we gave them, right? Even though we invaded them and took their original land.
They don't. And a large factor of it too was like they don't believe in like the fact of like dividing up and owning land and like the way that we did it. So they're just like, what the fuck do you mean you're giving us like that doesn't work?
But since we have more guns and technological advancements and colonize the shit out of it, we basically pushed them out of their lands into Oklahoma, where most of them died on the journey anyways because of the smallpox. And that's why they call it the Trail of Tears, because all these people's family members were dying in front of them and they had to leave them behind and keep walking basically. And there was a lot of tears shed.
And now we eat pie and we play football.
America, yay. Yeah, now we've turned it into, football.
Yeah.
Obese American holiday.
Fuck yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the Native Americans anymore. It has to do with the Americans. So.
Yeah. And we got some fun recordings. It'll be we did an Overcooked video that will be coming out. Just with the lads downstairs.
A little bit of tension. But in the end, we were cooking as a team.
We did pretty good. Look forward for that one. And then we also have a little game marathon that I set up for Dan that he didn't know anything about. He just kind of was working.
He sent it to me like I should know it, but I was like, I think it'd be better if I was spoiler free. And then he did nothing but be like, how do you not know this? I told you this. And I'll be like, I want to go in blind, basically. But it ended up going pretty well.
I think it'll probably be a little bit of a shorter video, but
it's fine.
Yeah. I think it'll be funny. Hopefully you guys like it. Let us know. in the future because it's not out
I think
yet.
I like our little competition videos. I think like the trebuchet video is one of our best.
Oh yeah, we'll keep doing more stuff like that. We're just
Mhm.
gonna think of some concepts. I think we'll do more. I like doing holiday themed stuff. We'll probably coming up in basically a month from
Christmas
now.
right around the corner.
Yeah, we'll run it back. We'll do a Christmas game,
Themed TikTok
Christmas
games.
themed TikTok games, and a Christmas podcast. We could do like a secret gift. We could do a gift exchange on the podcast.
Oh, it's a good idea.
I get a gift, you get a gift. We do a little whoop.
I like that idea. We should write that down. Someone write that down. Write that down.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Are you getting this?
I don't think they're getting this.
Okay.
That's fine. We'll do it ourselves.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we gotta do it. It's just as always, we do it ourselves.
But I'm going to be going home to Los Angeles for
Los
Thanksgiving.
Angeles.
I'm leaving the day before, and then I'll be back the day after.
I'm going nowhere. I'll be at work, so
But we're doing a Friendsgiving beforehand, which should be fun.
that I won't be at because I have 2 hockey games in a
Yes.
row. So
But there surely will be something on Thanksgiving. If not, you can just sit home. Sit at work.
I'll be at work.
Yep.
Thanksgiving. What a great holiday. Don't grow up, kids. Being an adult fucking sucks. Holidays just become awful and miserable because you're like, man, this was so much fun when I was a kid. I got to see all my cousins.
That's
Now
the
it's like,
trade. No, I think being an adult fucking rocks and is awesome and is way better than being a kid. But holidays are way more of a chore now because
Yeah.
now it's less of like, ooh, people are doing shit for me, and now you have to be the person
Now it's
doing
like,
shit.
man, I have to buy, like, if I want to celebrate, I have to buy a turkey and cook it up, and it's
Yeah.
a lot of work, and I just, like, can't be asked. If I
And
have a family one day, I better be fucking not miserable at all because I
Yeah.
will not want to do any of this shit.
My thing is more so, I feel like even if I don't think there's anything wrong for you to spend your holiday how you want to, but the issue is, I feel like people are gonna judge you. Like people are like, what did you do for the holidays? And it's like, I stayed home and I played Nintendo. People be like, well, yeah, but
What, no turkey, no nothing? It's like, no,
No.
bro. I just, like, well, the fucked up thing is we don't even get a day off. I have to go into work. Like, it's not
Yeah.
like I have to take paid time off if I don't want to go
I'm
into
working
work.
remotely.
Like, other people would be like, oh, yeah, it's like, I don't really have family in town. I got off from work, so I kind of just, took the day to relax, recoup a little bit.
That's
get a
my
free day off.
goddamn holiday.
Yeah, but
I love that shit. I love
Not in
having a day
Texas.
where you do nothing. You just sit there, and it feels the weight lifted off.
we're definitely a little different in sort of that situation because we're always doing stuff every day.
Mhm.
But for me, a lot of the days, it's like I'll get one thing done, like one thing ticked off the to-do list, and then I'm like, I'm good for the day. My brain worked hard.
Yeah.
Whereas you just keep going and move from project to project, project to project.
It feels like a never-ending ball, but then every now and again, I get to a point to where I'm literally like, what do I do next? I'm like, there's nothing. And I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah,
And then a day or two passes and I'm like, I'm back in the fucking shit. Damn it. I don't know how I'm going to ever catch up. And then I'll do that for like a
Yeah.
week and a half.
Whereas I'm constantly like, I just need more time to do that. I have a script to write. I gotta get that done. I gotta keep chugging along, and it's like slowly but surely it gets done. But I have been the past month or two. I've been a little bit better. I'm ahead on scripts, and like Bozo show stuff's been going well in
Yeah.
terms of recording and ideas and whatnot. So I don't know. I'm even trying to do streams maybe soon.
That'll be fun.
I have some ideas.
I can feel the motivation bubbling in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Give it like 2 or 3 months. I might want to do my own YouTube videos, but I need to think about it.
Yeah,
I need to
you can
think
never
about
figure
it.
out what you want to do.
No, I
but-
can never figure. It's a lot easier just to have like a group thing for me personally. I'm entirely other random thought. I'm really hoping that this candle is an hour-long candle. I think it might be.
It's
It's
just
a
gonna
very-
burn out by the end of the podcast.
It's a very early call. I think it might be.
What if I?
Don't. I'm sure you can. Stop.
I'll make it wiggle.
Stop.
I can make it dance.
I know you can. Don't. You end it by trying to blow it out, and if you can't, then I blow it out,
No,
and
that's
the
not gonna
and it
happen.
ends.
My lungs are too tired for that.
I got great lungs. That's all I've trained for my entire childhood.
Fair enough.
Um,
I got great lungs just because I play sport,
sport.
so I'm in short shape,
Mm.
kind of, sort of. I'm like 70%. I would say I'm 70% in shape. I'm not in shape, but I'm like in shape enough where I can go play a sport and be like only slightly out of breath.
Yeah.
You know, like I can play a full hockey game and be fine.
What do your family Thanksgivings look like?
So back in the Disney day,
Okay.
I had a pair of grandparents who lived out east New York
Yeah.
on a place called Shelter Island.
Sounds very homey.
They don't live there anymore. They passed away,
Mhm.
and we don't have the house, so I'm not doxing anything.
Docs.
But they used to live on Shelter Island on like a really nice big home overlooking like a little inlet that goes out to the bay. So for Thanksgiving, the whole family would show up, you know, stay in the house, and then do a big feast and everything. We would do like what is it, like plays? You know, when you're a kid,
yeah.
you set up plays.
We did not for Thanksgiving necessarily, but oddly enough, location based, wasn't holidays. My family also had like up in Big Bear, but there's like a lake. They had a property that faced the lake, and we would get on the second story and open up the windows, and we'd do like plays, go at like talking to each other.
Like Romeo and Juliet, you're on the
Either like
balcony.
Romeo and Juliet or like the Muppets, where you'd have like the two elderly people heckling. So we, oddly enough, similar housing facing towards body of water play activities also occurred.
Yeah, we had like a great big what is it, like the living room was like a big sunroom with like huge, like not huge windows, but like basically like maybe a foot off the ground there's the ledge of the window, and it goes to like another foot of room between the ceiling and the top of the window.
So just like
big
a
windows,
huge,
not like floor to ceiling,
tall,
like rich people. It was a very much older house, not like a modern house, but big windows overlooking the creek. So we'd have sun coming in, and everyone would gather around in the living room and watch movies. You know, like the kids would be lying on the floor, all the adults in their chairs and stuff. Yeah. Because it was just like my grandma had this really big sitting room with like a full couch here, a full couch across the room. They had their two like armchairs that they would sit on, and like had like a little table in the middle and like drink coffee and tea and stuff. And those were like their chairs, while everyone else had like couches and a bunch of other chairs surrounding the living room. That's where we'd do Christmas. Like we'd all sit in a big circle. And like, you know, you'd gather up your presents, and like the youngest would go first, open a present, then they go up, and then it'll go back to the youngest. They would open a present, and it would go up the age order. So yeah, that was like my childhood holiday spot. You know, 4th of July would go shoot fireworks over the creek, go swimming, you know, paddling out, fishing.
All the holidays were done.
Yeah, basically
there
at Grandma and Grandpa's house out east. Because Eastern New York's like, it's like Hamptons, you know, it's like those like in the woods, like beach community sort of thing. Yeah. Like very seaside, very mariner. And Shelter Island's like, basically Long Island is shaped like a sort of fish, kind of. It's like...
Interesting.
It's like the Queens is like where the eye of the fish would be, and then the end would be like the tail. But it's like, it goes up into like two forks where it kind of splits. And Shelter Island's in the middle of the two forks.
Okay.
So it kind of splits open like legs, and then Shelter Island would be in the middle of the legs. Like imagine you take
Just
a
like
shit,
me.
and the shit falls down like a little bit, and then Shelter
That's
Island's
Shelter Island's the shit, the droopy shit.
And it's just sitting in the middle of the legs.
For me, Thanksgiving would often happen at my aunt's house, also in Los Angeles. No big traveling.
In Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. That's an inside joke that no one will get. How the fuck do I even try to describe what that is? There is none.
It's the song that's like, I'm not a big fan of the government. Yeah. But we changed it to in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles. It's just like a little
we do the shoot dance where we're like, shoot.
Yeah. And then we would just we'd freestyle little
bars.
little add-on bars about how LA sucks. How LA sucks in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles.
But we basically meet up in Los Angeles. We just have a big old feast. A lot of extended family would end up showing. Got the game going on. We always had mainly just because of how the aunt's house is set up. You have the eating area, the backyard, which is for like the kids, and they had like dogs, so like everyone would chill there for that. And then there was like a back area where the grill is that had like an overhang and a table, and that's for gambling, drinking, and degeneracy. And football.
Yeah.
So that's where they'd watch the game. And that's
what Thanksgiving games did you guys watch? Because there was LA playing on, or like the Rams were in LA.
there's whatever random games and stuff. I'm a kid. I don't like sports, but I just know sports were being played and watched.
I know my grandpa was a big Cowboys fan, and they always play on Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure. So we would always... Basically, the Thanksgiving Day parades on Thanksgiving, obviously. Mm-hmm. We would wake up...
That's never a part of our Thanksgiving, yes. That's like a unique...
Well, you're at LA. I'm New York. So, like, we would wake up early, drive, and then catch, like, basically the middle to the end of the parade, which is usually, like, the good parts.
Yep.
You know, they backload the parade, like all the good
Macy's
things.
Day? Or...
Yeah, Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. It's in New York City, and we're in New York, so it's like...
You're gonna go.
My grandma was, like... in the marching band when she was like
a
kid, which she went to the same high school as me, which is funny.
That is funny.
My grandma went to the same high school as me, and then on the opposite side of my family, my dad, my aunt, and my uncle all went to that same high school. So it's funny. But then my mom didn't go to that high school because they moved out east.
That's interesting. But then
she went to East Hampton.
They met back up again.
Yeah. Well,
romance.
I think they met in college.
Romance.
It's not romance because my mom didn't go to that high school, and my dad.
I know, but that means that
but it's just small
they
worlds.
brought them back together.
No.
Grandma was there, mom's not there, but somehow
my dad was there.
They came back.
Related
they
to
came
her at
back
all.
together.
It's not
romance.
not really.
There's a movie in there.
No, there's not.
Anyways, keep telling your story about the Macy Days parade.
Yeah, we basically. My grandma liked watching all the band performances because she, I think, actually herself marched in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade back in the day.
Yeah.
In like the 50s, 40s. I don't know.
Okay.
And then I have these two uncles who love the dog show. Love it.
Okay.
So we would all get hyped for the dog show, try to pick the early winners, that sort of shit.
Did they have a Thanksgiving specific dog show?
Oh, every time. There's the whatever the fuck dog show is after the Thanksgiving Day parade. It comes on right after the parade.
Oh, okay.
Parade ends, Santa waves, goodbye, credits.
Don't touch
Boom,
the TVs, dogs.
Dog show immediately.
I'm down for that.
We would always, not to say we were like, none of my family's like degenerate, like betting, gambling, but we would all be like, I think that one's going to win. No, I think that one's going to win.
I got $50. This dog winning.
And then by that time, it's like lunchtime. Mm-hmm. Small lunch, obviously.
Yeah, you got to save room.
And then that's when we would like watch movies or like do the play or like, my uncle used to have this thing. He would sing this song where he was like, his cheeks are rosy and his nose is red. He does the turkey lurkey and his name is Fred. His feathers hang high and his neck hangs low. He's the best. He's the most wonderful turkey in the show. And then you go, something like that. I can't remember the actual song.
That's
that was
funny.
Like a little thing I remember as a child. I'm just like reminiscing through all the. He's still alive. He's my uncle, not my grandpa.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask him.
Do the dance.
I'll probably call my mom on Thanksgiving and ask him what the song was.
Yeah.
But it's something about like he does the turkey lurkey. His name is Fred, and then I don't remember the ending. But
shout out to the man Fred, the best turkey in the goddamn show.
Best turkey in the show.
I don't know if I don't think we got any. Your Thanksgiving sound a little bit more theatrical and fun than ours. Ours is just eating food. Damn
Grandma
it.
and Grandpa's house was like the spot. Plus, my mom has like 4 other brothers and sisters, so we just like everyone would pull up. Besides my uncle who's in North Carolina, but everyone else was still like the furthest one was upstate, so it was like a 3-hour drive for them. But everyone else was either in the city or in Long Island. So then we'd have like my mom and then 3 other aunts and uncles with all their kids pulling up. So like Grandpa's house was like
it was popping.
It was popping for every holiday, even like Easter. Like we used to play this game where we had these like a basket of rubber eggs that was like a decoration my grandma would put out on the
eggs,
the coffee table or something.
Yeah.
So what we would do is we'd take the rubber eggs and one team would hide them in a room, like a bedroom or something.
Yeah.
Like close the door. Then when they're done, we would have to go find them and we would time each other to see how long it would take. So we
That's the speed
do
run.
All the hiding, like
that's the speed run in you, dude.
Hiding spots. That's actually not a bad video idea, honestly.
Doing that, just
doing like a little like hide an object in a room, and you have to like time each other to see how long it takes you to find everything, and then go head to head or something. That's not a bad idea. That's a little like Easter game we used to play with like these little things.
Fuck, write that shit down.
Down.
Do that for Easter.
My siblings are gonna get a kick out of this podcast if they listen to it. But yeah, we used to hide rubber eggs in like the bedroom. I don't remember, to be honest. Damn. I have a terrible memory. I only remember like the physical games or stuff that happened, but I don't remember like specifics.
Results.
Yeah, but I don't know. Holidays at Grandma and Grandpa's house. Good times, man. Good times.
I'm trying to reminisce. I'm trying to bring forth thoughts from the back of my mind.
Who's the funniest uncle? You got a funny uncle?
Oh, I mean, okay. As a kid, I'd call them, because my mom's the youngest of 10. And
so there's a lot of cousins then.
So there's a lot of cousins, and the issue is you get a point to where the firstborn in my mom's side, the oldest kid is the same age as my mom.
Yeah.
And so it's like my cousin,
wait, she's
John,
the youngest of 10.
She's the youngest of 10. So
your cousin's the same age as her mother. Your mom's nephew is the same age as her.
My cousin is a few of my cousins are older than my mom.
That's crazy.
But
that's a weird family.
So my cousin John, who up until like 12 I called Uncle John, because he's like
60.
Yeah, no, he's not. Well,
nowadays
Uncle John, he's still younger. He's like he's my cousin, so he's like now probably in his like 40s or something.
Yeah.
Funniest guy though. We have his taco shells.
Oh, that's whose taco shells
John.
are in the kitchen.
That's
John. His brand?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Shelminator. Shout out John. I love John. John's a very funny guy. There's so many people who are going to hate me now, because now I'm throwing both, you asked me uncles, and now I threw my cousins in the ring too.
I'll throw uncles under the bus. I think Uncle Russell is the funniest, because he's the guy that did the turkey song.
You can't beat that.
Him and my mom would because there's actual turkeys, that like wild turkeys that are out east.
Oh shit, yeah.
So when they were like walking across the road in the front yard and stuff, my mom has like the craziest like turkey noise, where she'd be like that sort of thing. She's really good at it.
Okay.
Really loud, and like the turkeys will gobble back. And Uncle Russell will do it back to her, and then they'll just have like a turkey shouting match back and forth. It's so funny.
Just riling up all the wildlife around him too.
Dude, my grandma and grandpa's like driveway, like it was like the road's like here, and they have like a down ramp, and it kind of curves and goes up to the garage.
Oh, like a Yui?
Down ramp, the turkeys would use it to gain speed, and they'd fly up into the tree and sleep in the trees in my grandma's yard. Yeah,
that's kind of sick.
It was kind of sick. At like 6-7 p.m. you could see them getting speed on the runway to fly up into the trees and get some sleep.
There's no nature in Los Angeles. There's no nature.
No, there's no nature where I grew up, but then like go to an hour and a half out east to Grandma and Grandpa's house, all of a sudden it starts to become woods in Suffolk County, and then you're on like an island as
Every time I see deer, even now, I'm just like, deer, what the fuck? Yeah. And I keep forgetting, like, there's literally like deer crossing signs in a location where we may or may not live. There are deer.
I mean, I'm used to deer. There's a lot of deer out east in New York in the woods.
There are no deer in Los Angeles. There are coyotes, which potentially killed my dog.
Rip.
I don't know. Have I told that really dark story on the? If I have, I'm gonna tell it again. If you love Thanksgiving, peace and love in the world, I'm telling a dark fucking story. Imagine this. You are going on a Disney vacation. The whole family is there, right?
Disneyland.
Yeah,
that's not really a vacation, because you live like
an hour away. We go to the hotel. We stay there.
Why? It's like an hour away.
Because
like 30 minutes away.
How Disney works, you get, because we liked going there frequently because we live close to it. You get Disney points that you can redeem.
Blew the points on a hotel.
Yeah, on a hotel.
That seems silly considering you live 30 minutes away. But go on.
We're children. Sometimes parents don't want to do a big trip for the weekend. We just talked about being adults.
Go on.
What would be easier for you? Oh, let me take the kids for a trip like this weekend, 30 minutes away, or let's fucking go fly and do something else. And
you said Disneyland.
Disneyland, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Disneyland is a good weekend vacation versus like a bunch of other shit. Like, it's way more complicated. We just talked about being adults.
I mean, it's way less complicated to drive to Disneyland for the day, drive back home 30 minutes.
But you got these points that are going to expire that you got to use.
Use them on other stuff. You don't. The room and board is like the least important thing. Go on.
Anyways,
I digress. I don't agree, but
Your mother, your father, your sister, and your brother are all there at Disneyland with you at the resort. Great time. Great. Actually, it might have been Disney World. Anyways,
Bro,
great.
that's across the country
It was
from
right.
you.
You were right. It was Disney World.
it was in Florida.
It was in Florida.
So then, yeah, you gotta.
So yeah, we were in goddamn Florida. Anyways.
How did you fuck that up? One's 30 minutes away from your
Because you
house.
fucked me in my ass. You're asking me questions and then you confused me
That's
because
crazy.
you're asking a
That's crazy.
judgmental
You
tone.
You being from LA misjudged Disney World and Disneyland. But go on.
I'm taking you on a story. You and your brother and your
Can't get
sister
the
and your
details,
mother
man.
and your father, you're very nice family. You're very nice family.
Why are you going to The Godfather right now?
You're very nice families over at the Disney World. You're having a great time.
You're not him, bro.
You're riding the Matterhorn. You're talking to the Guini. I don't know what the
Is the
fuck.
Matterhorn in Disney World? I think that's an LA
Shit.
specific
Well, fuck.
one.
It's all a blur. Anyways, you're in Disney World. Your dad has to leave a day or two early because
Work.
You know, work. God damn it. But you guys are having a great time. As far as you're aware, nothing wrong. Why would anything wrong have happened? So 2 days later, you come home from Disney World. You go to your backyard.
back dog.
You go to your back dog to see your backyard. Anyways, you go backyard. You see your two dogs, and you're like, one of them is a missing. Where'd my dog go? And so you go, hey, Dad, my dog, Sally, the other dog, the dog, like the sister to the other dog, they're actually sisters, like brother and sister. So I'm like, hey, where'd Coco's sister go, Sally? And he was like, ooh, we need to sit down.
Sally went.
He
went to
didn't.
the farm.
He didn't spare the details.
Oh, he was real. He's straight up.
She got stabbed in the heart, and he was very specific in saying, "We don't know by what." We called the veterinarians, and they looked at the dog to see what was wrong with it. They don't know what happened.
They couldn't tell whether it was like a tooth or a knife.
No. They said stabbed.
By a knife.
Who the fuck? That's all he told me. That's all he knows. That's what they said.
That's crazy. I feel like they could be able to tell from the
It
wound
wasn't.
whether it's like a
They made it
fucking
sound
knife.
like it wasn't like. We think my neighbor murdered our dog
What the fuck?
because he would constantly complain about the dog barking, and then we were gone, and the dog's
bird
dead,
just
but the other dog who was right there isn't dead.
Was the other dog depressed because her sister's dead?
No, he's okay. He recovered. He bounced back.
That's
We got
crazy.
we got another dog that actually looked very similar. I don't think that he mistook it for the dog, but we got another dog so that way it wouldn't.
You know what's crazy? I have my old coworker, Jesse. I think you know.
Yeah,
When he was living in Japan, because his dad's in the military or something.
sure.
They had a dog in their backyard, and their neighbor also killed their dog, like
what
murdered
the-
it,
yeah.
like stabbed it.
I don't know what
And I was like, "What the fuck?"
And we
he's
didn't know
like,
what
"Yeah."
to do because it got to okay. I think I need to preface this also. We would get complaints to the point that our neighbor was like, "If you don't shut that dog up, I'm gonna shut that dog up for you."
He did. He fucking acted.
And I think he fucking did.
It was a
because the
legitimate threat.
only other answer would have been a coyote comes in and kills the dog.
This isn't no Sebem.
But the other dog was completely fine. No scratches.
Yeah, 'cause that dog's
no
chill.
nothing. So that dog didn't bark. That dog didn't bark. So
I bet it didn't bark after that. I just watched
I
his
fucking-
sister get killed for barking.
So
and
it's
they just
like,
went, oh,
what? I'm pretty sure
lips are sealed.
it rhymes with a word. I'm not
That they
going to
used
say his
build
name,
Buildings girder.
but
Oh.
one might say kill, and it rhymes with it. And I think kill. I think
You think Bill?
killed.
Bill killed.
Bill killed. Killer Biller.
I'm deciphering this for you.
I think he killed my dog.
That's fucked up.
And it makes sense in post because like I'm at Disney World and goddamn, like if I'm a dad, I want my kid to have a fun time. But I was pissed. I'm like, you just let me go and have fun. My dog's dead this whole time. You didn't tell me until right now.
It's not like he could do anything about it, and he's not trying to ruin your vacation. So like, what the hell is he supposed to do? Not his
I
fault.
would have been like, fly me home now.
Dude, you should have fucking harassed
Get
Bill.
the next flight.
You should have taken it to him. Hey, did you kill my fucking
What
dog?
was I'm supposed to do? I'm like
Kick
fucking
him in the shins.
I was
know.
like
punch him in the nuts.
9.
There you go.
Maybe 10.
Your perfect nut height. Fucking,
I was a perfect nut height. He's like, I think Bill might be dead. He's an old fart. Old fart.
I mean, if he was
Sorry,
sick
kill.
and twisted to kill your dog, he probably was like, well, I don't got much left in life. Might as well get some peace and tranquility. Otherwise, I'll just go to jail and die there.
So any
you have nothing to lose, really.
I mean, I guess your the coworker story. Any other crazy neighbors who might have killed your animals or just interesting
Not me,
fellas?
Personally, I mean, we had this like sniper BB gun back in the day from like my dad's childhood, and my neighbor was this like older guy, or I don't even know if it was him. I think it was the previous tenants who lived in the upper floor because it was like a split house, my neighbors, and the guy below would rent it to the people up top. And I think the guys up top installed a bunch of birdhouses like right under like the roof, right?
Okay.
Like, the roof kind of overhangs.
Yeah, I have the little lip there.
Like below the gutters, he put like birdhouses, and a bunch of pigeons moved in, and the pigeons would shit all over like the deck and the fence in the backyard. And my dad hated it.
Of
course. One day he just pulled out the sniper and shot a couple pigeons to like limit the numbers. And I don't think my neighbor was very happy with that. I don't really know what happened with that, but
hey,
yeah, that happened.
Shit walks, bullets talk. Them birds dead.
R.I.P.
That's what
Dude, that reminds me. I've been watching a lot of the fucking Outdoor Boys.
Explain me the Outdoor Boys.
So there's this guy, right? His name is Luke Nichols.
Cool
He's
name.
A father of three boys.
Oh, okay.
And he's got a lovely wife, and basically he's just like a fucking survival expert, essentially.
Yeah. Bear Grylls, but American.
They're a Mormon family, so he doesn't drink or curse or anything. He's very wholesome.
Okay.
And it rubs me a little bit the wrong way when they go and meet up with people, because the other people you can tell are just like super, like they're all super like way too nice,
Sure.
Like,
you seem suspicious
they're all Mormon.
of them.
It seems a little suspicious because I don't trust like Mormons. They're all like they're all a little crazy, deep down underneath they're like, they're little religious, can't curse, can't drink beer, can't do any of that, can't whatever. It seems a little sus. But he's a super wholesome guy, and he's insanely smart when it comes to surviving in the wilderness. Like he'll do like literal videos where he's like in the Arctic Circle for a week. With nothing but
just nothing,
but like a knife,
Yeah.
And he just like survives. He'll build like he'll like dig through like 8 feet of snow and make like a little like basically igloo sort of thing under the snow and camp there.
Yeah.
I watched the whole video yesterday. It was like an hour and 20-minute video where he flew to Okinawa, Japan. Or if you don't know where that is, do you know where that is?
He flew to Japan.
You know the main island in Japan, right?
Yeah.
It's like the J. Imagine under the J about. You're breaking wax, bro. What are you doing? Don't eat it.
I'm sorry.
Don't eat it.
I'll put it back.
Imagine under the J, you sail like decent amount. There's a jungle.
Just a tiny jungle island.
Yeah, basically. It's Okinawa. It's a site of like World War II battles that America had with Japan.
That's where the name sounds
they went
familiar.
from Hawaii to a bunch of islands as they made their way to the mainland of Japan.
Yep.
Okinawa was one of those islands, and there's a U.S. Marine base there, and the U.S. Marine base basically does jungle combat training, like
there
basically they have a military base, and in that military base is a bunch of like basically wild jungle wilderness, and the Outdoor Boys guy Luke Nichols got invited to go with a squadron of like Marines basically, and do a week-long survival camp with a group of Marines.
Entirely random. That shit paid so well.
Oh, dude. He turns all comments off because he's like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, I'm just recording survival stuff with my family, having a good time. And 2, every video is like minimum 30 minutes, maximum like 2 hours.
Yeah.
The lowest one they have is like 3 million. Everything's
he's
upwards
like-
of 10 million views. It's crazy.
He's literally like the prime demographic too for like a U.S. military ad, essentially. Like
mean,
they're
not
flying
even
him
that.
out there or whatever, doing this whole thing with this platoon,
Oh,
and
dude,
the
it was
entire
so
time he's
hype.
just like, "Oh, I love
It's
this."
such a hype video. He's with a bunch of 25-year-old Marines who are
Yeah.
all like, very different from him. They're like,
They're hardened.
they're hardened. They're like literally they curse. They're like actual fucking military.
Yep.
And then he's just like this fucking Mormon 45-year-old dude who's like, for some reason he doesn't have boots and he's trekking through the jungle in like really like the thick socks to keep the bugs out.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like trainers basically like sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like going through thick brush, macheting stuff, jumping into like rivers. They weren't allowed to bring any food into the jungle with them.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like realistic
It's
combat
part of the
situation.
training, yeah.
So he's like sneaking up on cicadas, grabbing them, and then cooking them up on the fire and like eating bugs. And then like they would catch like these extremely venomous snakes.
Yeah.
And then like skin them and eat the fucking snake meat. And basically for a week they were eating basically nothing. And he was like the whole video he's like, man, I'm fucking feeling real woozy.
Yeah,
and like
man.
every meal he's like, this is the best snake I've ever tasted. 'Cause, like they're so hungry the whole week.
Yeah.
And then they get into like sort of they run into like a village, which is like it's just like other military guys from their base that are like acting as like speaking Japanese or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're like acting as like civilians. And then there's like the civilians wear normal clothes. Basically the instructors will all wear black t-shirts,
Mm-hmm.
and then the enemies, quote unquote, will also wear camo and just like berets and like just like different colored camo than
Just
the actual
slightly,
Marines.
yeah.
And they basically act out like wartime scenarios. Like they're basically like walking on the road, holding position, getting real quiet, and then like grouping up to go into the jungle to set up camp for the night so that they don't get like discovered by the enemy, and like doing all these realistic scenarios. But he deadass pulled through the entire week of just like hiking through the jungle, up and down hills, avoiding venomous bugs and snakes and stuff, and just like, he's a survival expert, so he's like teaching the boys how to set up
That's funny.
camp and helping them set up their tarps and stuff so they don't get rained on. And it's just like so fucking cool. He's so smart, man.
Sign me up for cool shit like that. Where do I go? I'm not joining the military though.
Oh, but how this reminded me of this, because I talked about my dad shooting the pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
He's some videos. He just like, all right, we're going to hunting birds, and he like just has the shotgun on his back.
Yeah.
Or like his son will have the little 22 sniper rifle, and he'll like try to get the precise shot while the bird's on the ground, and then when they all fly up, he'll bring out the shotgun and shoot the birds out of the air or something like that.
Yeah.
The one video I watched, it made me chuckle because they were in Florida and they were hunting for gator, right?
Oh yeah.
I think if you own land in Florida, like he always talks about like the game hunting rules, because there's all specific rules depending on where.
Oh,
you are and who you
everywhere
are.
has a bunch of different. Yeah.
So if you own land in Florida, you can harvest like 3 gators per whatever. I don't know what it is, but basically, people who own land in Florida will basically sell the gator hunt, basically. So then you can pay to go hunt a gator off someone's land with that person.
They just get a huge plot of land and
Yeah.
they're like, "This is gator season. Come over."
Basically. So what they do is they get a really big fishing hook, throw it in a gator's direction. The gator will snap at it, bite it, and then
Just
they hook 'em
instinctually.
and reel them in, and then they'll get like a second fishing rod to kind of just basically hold the gator
some leverage.
still, like
Yeah.
with 2 fishing rods on either side, and get his head above the water. And then like I did not expect what they were gonna do next. I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, we brought him in and we like tied him up, or I don't know.
Sure.
Like, I don't know what the hell I was expecting. But all of a sudden, the guy who owns the land just brings out a big like rifle and just goes, just fires into the water, and then they're like, all right, we got a gator, and he's got it on his shoulders. I was just like, bro, that was crazy.
I think the shock comes from it being on YouTube, but like.
It's just
that
hunting.
makes sense. I mean, like, what the fuck are you gonna put your hand in that
Yeah.
shit? You're not Bear Grylls. You're not wrestling gators out here
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have to.
I think the most interesting video I watched, because he's from Alaska, so that's where he does most of his videos. Is like the
So
Alaskan
he gets
bushcraft
paid to live in
wilderness.
Alaska.
Dude. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
We
he's
brought
like,
it before.
he's a scientist or something. They contribute a lot to science with all the wildlife stuff. And
That would make
some of
sense.
in
He's
his
a
life.
hardened man.
Yeah.
They can just send him to the brush. Go
Well,
survey.
he doesn't look like a hard man because he's just a, like skinny, lanky guy who has like he wears glasses, kind of has a nerdy voice, but he's like super smart.
Oh,
and
he's just good. He's
gets
just
it
got
done.
good technique, good survival technique.
He's very knowledgeable. But the most interesting video I watched of his this week was he went to basically like an Alaskan Eskimo village that you literally cannot get to unless you go by plane. And they live on like little boardwalks that they've made on marshland that's just like in the river deltas of northwestern Alaska, essentially. So they go by plane. They literally have to outsource gravel by boat to build a runway for the planes to land because everything around there is like swamp and marsh.
How does that even work?
Just a boat comes in with a lot of gravel.
And then
they fill
they
in the wetness, the wet marshland with gravel so that it's solid enough for the planes to land. So they go in by land, and then it's basically all these native people who live in these like boardwalk villages, and they're all super excited because they don't get visitors, right?
Yeah.
The only way
because it sounds like a shit ton of work to get visitors.
Basically.
Yeah.
And there's no restaurants, there's no hotels, like you can't visit.
You're not building it's not a travel place. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to know somebody and like stay in their house because there's nowhere else to go. And there's no getting out of there unless a plane comes and lands. You like radio it in.
Yeah.
But the whole like week or 3 or 4 days he was there, he was with like his brother and like the guy he knew grew up in the village, and then that guy's dad who was just like the coolest fucking old guy ever.
That's sick.
And they would get in the boat every morning and they would try to like spear seals and catch seals, or they would try to spot moose who were on the shores of the marshland. And then what they would do is they would slow the boat down real quiet so the moose doesn't run off, and then fire like a big ass rifle to try to hit the moose in the heart to take it down in one shot. And the problem with it is if the moose is too far away from the shore, then you have to basically, if the moose dies, you have to harvest the moose and drag all that meat and stuff all the way back to the boat. So they would literally be so selective with their shot because they wanted to get a moose that was close enough to the shore to harvest and bring it back to the boat easier so they don't have to lug it all the way. But this guy who's like, just a white guy that moved to Alaska takes down his first moose in this video, and like they harvest all the meat and he like donates it to like the native hospital. Yeah. Because the only thing they eat is wild meat, like wild game and stuff. Yeah. So because you
can't get shit from anywhere else. Yeah.
The hospital's more in like a city area, sort of, that they like usually like boat to or helicopter to if someone's injured or sick in the city.
All right.
Or in the town. So he donated all the moose meat to the hospital so that like the natives who are sick in the hospital can have like a wild meat meal because that's what they're used to. That's what they like. Yeah. And there's all these rules for them where like only the native people can hunt like certain animal and stuff because that's what they eat. That's what they eat to survive. Yeah. So like some of the stuff like the YouTuber Luke could not kill because he's just like he's not a native. He doesn't live there. Makes sense. But they were just going around fishing up fish, cooking it the night of and stuff, and then they would go back to the village and have like good times in their little like shack house on the boardwalk town village, and it was just like super cool because it's like such a chill primitive lifestyle, and like they have electricity and like plumbing and stuff. But it's just like a village on top of wooden stilts and slats. So
that sounds sick. I mean, for me, I love watching videos of people building shit out of basically like the earth around them. You'll find people who do crazy videos where they essentially make like underground like mansion homes and stuff like that. As someone who grew up in the city, living city life, I think it's very refreshing and sometimes reassuring that there are alternative lifestyles that essentially are just completely sourced by, your own work and skill and knowledge, and you don't need to have a shit ton of money and this crazy job to live life. And it's cool to see that there are still places in the world where people live like that.
They live off the land.
Because sometimes it gets fucking stressful living life, having to go paycheck to paycheck. And sometimes I yearn for the simplicity of life in the sense where it's like I wake up, I grow my food or I hunt my food. I get my water, and that is the life.
Yeah, but it also gets like 10 times more stressful if like
If it,
there's a food shortage or like the animals population's being overfished or something, and then your village is
you're just
shit
fucked.
out of luck
Yeah, no, you're
to
fucked.
survive. Like that's the downside. But like I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you if those people who live in those like off-grid villages are happier or less happy. I would think happier because they got like, you know, family around them and they got their way of life.
Yeah.
And it's very low stress environment sort of thing. But it also like there's probably some kids who grow up and all they want to do is leave the village, you know. So it's just like, goes different ways.
It's a hard mix. I think my goal eventually, try to bring as much of that to my life as I can. I want a self-sufficient house. I want the house to get all the power from itself. We'll do solar, God damn it. We'll get windmills. I don't care. The house will power itself. I'm still gonna want my luxuries. I'm gonna want my lights. I'm gonna want my heating and cooling.
Well, yeah. I mean, these villages have that. They literally have electrical lines, so they're getting power from somewhere. But yeah, no, I totally get that. I totally want to live a little simpler sometimes.
Sometimes I want to rough it in the wild, but I'm not made for it. I'm definitely not. But it'd be fun.
I don't think I could do it all the time. I think if I needed to, like if I were to like link up with the outdoor boys and have to go on like a camping expedition or like, you know, I don't think I'd be squeamish to like go hunt shit or like eat bugs or whatever. I wouldn't want to go into the jungle in Okinawa, that's for sure. But like if I was in the Alaskan wilderness and, you know, we were shooting ptarmigan or whatever.
Ptarmigan.
Those are birds. The little frost birds that have like fur on their feet because it's all cold. And, you know, ice fishing. I think I could do that. I think it'd be fun.
Fishing was always fine for me. I think if hunting like big game, it would have to, I think that would be like a spiritual moment almost for me. Like having to eat the meat of an animal that I've seen.
That you've taken the life of.
Yeah, I don't
personally.
For fish, there's just a disconnect.
Yeah.
I've fished and ate my own fish and I'm not like, damn, I killed this thing and I'm eating this thing.
Because fish are just so brain dead. They're just like so drone-like, where they don't have. You don't see thoughts behind their eyes.
I'll say if I shot a moose, I'd have to be like, I'm gonna eat all. I'm not letting this go to waste.
Yeah.
Beautiful creature.
No, moose are fucking crazy.
They're big as fuck.
Huge. They're dangerous.
Yep.
They will fuck you up. Like don't underestimate.
Oh no, yeah, they're
man.
made to attack. They got the
fucking dude. They're bigger than like most Ford F-150s. Total in Ford F-150. They're that big. They're fucking crazy. You ever see one like running in the water, man? Like they're in like 6 foot deep of water and they're sprinting at like faster than boats. It's crazy. They're ridiculous.
But yeah, I think it'd be so cool to be able to do more. Eventually an arc will come where I will go and I will travel and I will live different parts of the world. I want to figure it out. I want to see what...
I definitely want to figure out how to do more like lifestyle videos eventually. I feel like that's just like something you transition to when you grow up a little bit.
That's retirement. That for us, for our goal from where we want to be, that would be like YouTube retirement. That'd be like, okay.
It's like PewDiePie living in Japan doing
PewDiePie
vlogs.
living in Japan. Yeah. We're going to be like, all right, we're in this country now. We're in that country now.
I want to see if I can... I don't know how weird it would be, but I might be going to Colorado again.
Oh, yeah?
In February because some guys on the hockey team go there every year for this tournament where it's like 3v3 hockey tournament.
Oh,
where
damn.
they play on a frozen lake in the mountains. So like the views are going to be fucking crazy. It's
sound crazy.
Like I played pond hockey before. Like 1 year in New York, it got cold enough where like this like lake reservoir froze over. And it's like, it's just free ice hockey, which is just, you don't have to pay for it, not in a rink.
Yeah.
You're just on the ice, on the pond. So it's just like so much fun. You can play from like sun up to sundown in the winter and just like you meet so many random people because everyone's just trying to get a game going, you know?
That makes sense.
So visiting that just on a frozen lake in the mountains is like so picturesque and like just like a bucket list of mine. Nonetheless, I'm going to be playing in a 3v3 tournament with these guys I've been playing hockey with
Yep.
for the past 2 seasons, and they're super nice, like super chill guys. And the vibes are just gonna be so sick playing hockey, and then like getting beers afterwards, getting hammered,
yeah.
you know, it's staying all like cozied up in a log cabin or wherever the hell we're gonna be.
There's some nice shit about. I've not experienced too much because again, growing up in Los Angeles, very warm, not icy, but there is a very unique niceness of going to somewhere is fucking freezing and then going in afterwards, getting all warm.
I'm not looking forward to the cold, but I am just looking forward to the vibes are going to be immaculate. Like,
Yeah.
And I want to like film a vlog. Like I don't know if that would be
for sure.
entertaining or if I could make it entertaining, but like something outdoors boys-esque where I just like, you know, follow me along on this journey to go play in a 3v3 hockey tournament in Colorado, and it'll be a good time.
You could do a video on the fucking just follow the tournament. That's an easy thing if you want to.
I guess. I don't know.
Or the trip itself.
I feel like I just need to like get a GoPro and just like, because that's what he does. He just has a GoPro on a stick and then just goes boop, talks into it, no mic, no or anything.
I mean, you can just
ends.
get a gripper for your phone if your phone camera is nice enough.
Yeah, but the my phone storage is not enough. I can just get like
that's
a
the
really
thing.
big tiny SIM card and a GoPro,
Yeah.
and I feel like that would just work.
No, look.
But yeah, no, I feel like that'd be so sick. But who knows? I might just go and enjoy the experience without having to worry about a video coming along with it. But
My excursion, one of my first ones. If I do it, I'm becoming the Buddha.
the Buddha.
I want to go to a temple and study under spiritual masters for
Yeah?
like a
You want to get
year.
spiritual with it?
I want to get spiritual with it.
Where you can go to like Nepal,
I haven't. Yeah, I don't.
Himalayas.
Himalayas.
They got temples out there.
Who knows? I need to think about it. I need to figure out like. I need to do research, figure out what I fuck with the most.
Did you want to climb Everest with me?
Oh, I'm down.
Are you? Because I'm not.
What do you mean? No, there's no reason not to.
Dude,
I mean, like people die.
People
but
die.
Like,
You have to be like really in shape and do like altitude training to get like your lungs to be able to survive up there.
I got stamina.
I don't know, man. It's a lot.
Only like 5%,
Everest
20%,
serious shit.
5% to 20%, something like that. Die.
Not only do you have to get up there,
You gotta
have
get
to
back
down.
Yeah, and it's like you really have to fucking hope that the weather's right. And sometimes you'll get close to the peak, and it's just like, yeah, we gotta go down. We just can't.
There's a blizzard coming, and we're gonna get snowed in and die.
So that's another aspect where it's not even necessarily, and it is fucking dangerous, but it's not even just as dangerous. You can go spend all this time trying to get to Mount Everest,
And then you
you
just get
finally
fucked.
are there, and it's just like, oh yeah, you just can't. Sorry, we're not going up there.
I think there's plenty other expeditions that we can do that are a lot safer.
Baby steps up.
Like, what if we go on like a journey through Africa or something? Or what if we go to the jungles of Indonesia or something?
I'm down to
Something
go
lovely.
anywhere. But I do think that I do really want to do studying spiritually with a group of like a certain group. I think there's something nice about it. Just like
Dude, just make a video. I spent a week with monks and learn how they
I don't
live.
want to. It can't just be a week. It has to. That's the thing.
You want to fucking go full on in? Like,
It would have to be like
year-long-
minimum 2 to 3 months.
What the fuck?
Well, that's how you have to. You have to
Well,
get
that's
to
like
a. You have to
you're
reach
like
a level.
committing.
Well, yeah, you have to reach a level to the point where, at the very least, while you're there, that the previous life is now the previous life. Because sometimes you'll do like a really long trip where you get back home. I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but you do like a really long trip and then you get back home and you're like, man, like I forgot.
How much my life sucks.
Or like how like I would do like summer camps that would sometimes be like up to like the whole summer, and so you'd come back and it's like, yo, shit, I miss that life. That life was way
Yeah.
better than this
I
life.
mean, that's like every vacation. Like when I went to Colorado with my other friends this summer, it was like, man, I'm just back to work, huh? Like, I don't know.
But I think it'd be really cool to, because a lot of it isn't necessarily hard answers. Like it's not like you're going there for school to be like. A lot of it is more so exploring the questions that might come up just about being human, and there's not
existing
necessarily
and stuff.
right or wrong answers, but there are all it is just
introspection.
a lot of it, like, you know, thousands of years, people have probably had the same questions that you've had. And it's like, you'll have people who have their entire life studied, like, okay, well, this is what we've thought about this because we've had a collective over thousands of years, a lot of time to think about this. And I think it'd be a cool experience to be able to have some of that wisdom imparted upon me.
I agree, but it'd be a sort of a thing where I just want to learn about their culture and embrace it and like, you know, just see how they live and what their philosophies on life are. But 3 months is a long time. Like I could understand like a week or two. You know, I spent 2 weeks with monks. You would learn a lot and still understand their lifestyle.
This is why I want to get a house so soon, because then I will have something concrete that I can come back to, and I won't need to worry about spending a shit ton of money while I'm away on rent and stuff like that. And at worst, if I really want to, I can rent it out for like the months that I'm gone. I could be like, hey, if someone wants a cheap place to stay, I'll be gone for the next 3 months.
Ideally, we just have enough money from being successful that you don't even need to worry about renting it out. You just like, you know.
But I think I don't really want to have. My goal with money is not so I can have a shit ton of money so I can be attached to the money. I want to have money to where
you can do whatever the fuck you want.
It doesn't affect me.
It's just financial freedom.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Well, because like that's a large aspect of a lot of stuff where another reason why you do those like long trips there where you're not there for a long time is like you're not paying for shit. Like it's a different way of living. You're supposed to like give up money and give up stuff because usually it has like a big effect on you and like how you view life, because a lot of it will be seen through the lens of money. And to an extent, it still definitely is for me to a crazy amount, because I don't want to get rid of it. So I need to get so much fucking money that even if I wanted to, I can't.
Dude, it reminds me of my aunt and uncle. They do Burning Man. You know what Burning Man is?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the festival where you go out into the desert in America.
Oh, I fucking love it. That'd be crazy shit, but I'd love to do it.
There is still a money aspect because people will rent RVs and stuff to stay in.
It's costly because you're going in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Getting out there is a trek, and there's a lot of stories or like news headlines where it's like, oh, people stranded in the desert after Burning Man.
You're going to a lawless place. You're going to the whole point is to go away from society in general.
Yeah, basically
and it's just
give up your your economic, social, whatever status, and just go into the desert and be like a raw human with all these other people and just like learn to interact, experiment with yourself, do drugs, and they all do drugs.
The drugs is because it's like, again, it's a lawless land, and it turns out people do drugs.
But the whole thing is to like you basically write down your biggest regrets and attach it to this big statue, which is the Burning Man, and then they burn it, and it's supposed to be like a freeing experience that like, you leave all your regrets and woes behind at this festival, and then when you exit the desert, you feel like refreshed and like a weight's lifted off your shoulder. Me personally, I probably would do it, but I don't know if I could fully buy into the whole spiritual sort of aspect or whatever.
For like Burning Man and stuff, I wouldn't think of it that way.
Like a rich person sort of event that's like life changing.
Yeah, I don't even necessarily. I don't from my stories. I don't know, and I haven't experienced it. But from
if you buy in, it's very freeing. And
I don't know if it's even necessarily a rich person thing, but maybe at the very least not the normal person.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Me personally, I've trouble buying into stuff like that. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think that for Burning Man stuff, there's not like it feels like it's more of like a do whatever the fuck you want type of deal.
It seems like more of an American capitalist like sort of thing where like if I was abroad with literal monks or something.
That's what I'm looking
like,
for.
That's real. That's like
Yeah.
way more real than some
Burning
festival.
Man, I would just view as I was like, dude, you want to fucking party for a bit?
Yeah, basically.
That's what I see Burning Man as. But for something like that, I'm more towards it. Nothing wrong with it.
Some people go party and become degenerate for like a little bit and do drugs, and it's like this like ego death or something. I don't know. That happens. So that's like totally real. But I feel like if I'm gonna really open up my eyes and be entranced in fucking, it's gonna have to be more legit than some festival where people are.
Oh no, I don't disagree.
Anyways,
I don't think
festival.
I would go to Burning Man to get a spiritual awakening.
I don't know.
Personally,
it's funny we're talking about all these raw primal human things when our electricity is out.
And we're
We
by
have no
candlelight.
electricity.
This
we're being
one
lit up by
candlelight
one
is
candle.
the only thing lighting this
up the whole
entire
room
set.
because we're pilgrims and electricity and technology doesn't exist.
Oh, that's sick. But no, it feels like a very random jump. I mean, I already jumped to a dark story, but now I'm so down to go down the spiritual pipeline.
Listen, one day we'll have our spiritual awakenings. Hopefully, it's in the mountain states of Nepal and northern India and not stuck in America, because then I probably will never have it.
Stuck in America,
Happy Thanksgiving,
America.
everybody.
Yeehaw!
From your favorite pilgrims.
Bozo Trout, do your little gobble. You didn't blow out the candle! Fuck!